Good morning, guys. What is up? Welcome back to another episode of No Lift Garage. I am Gartrell, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button right now and hit that like button, and make sure that you check out all of the videos that we have to offer for you. I'm actually, by the title of this video, installing front mount intakes. I've already gone ahead and wrapped them heat wrapped to try and reduce engine bay temps, as we did with our last video with the charge pipes. Make sure you check that out. It's pretty early in the morning right now. It is about 7:45-ish. I woke up early because I wanted to do this before work today. I work from home at the moment, so I just wanted to really try and bust this out because I was not going to have time with July 4th weekend and all of the rest of the things I have to do this week. So the first thing I want to do is show you that I've removed the front grille. Now, I did this without having to actually take off the top clips and weather stripping. I just realistically fit my fingers through the slots and release the clips. You want to start in towards the center of the bumper at the bottom. This was the easiest one. This clip was the easiest one to start with, and then I worked my way around the bottom. Then I did the sides, here and here, and then I did the top. So in total, you should have 8 clips on each one, and I would repeat the same thing with the other side. Once you get one grill out, it's a lot easier to get the other grill out. So to do what we want to do today, which is install this intake and this intake, all we're really going to have to do is, as usual, take off the top with the 10 millimeters, take this off 13 millimeters, and then start removing the intakes, which are held on pretty much just by a hose clamp. They're pretty much held on by just a hose clamp. We're gonna have to take out the mass airflow sensors on each and put them onto the new intakes. So let me just kind of skip ahead. I'm gonna put the camera down and just get to work. Next with the carbon brace off, we're just going to undo that, undo this 10 millimeter bolt holding this in, pop this air box out, and then we'll come right over here, undo this hose clamp. We have to just twist this key. You would pretty much just twist this and it will release this little clip. Mine was already untwisted, but now it's undone. We could just, at the moment, just separate this coolant line from, that. You're going to pinch these two pieces right here with the tactile parts on it and pull apart, and then this will just lift out. We're just gonna have to unplug the mass airflow sensor. Okay, so we have both of the intakes out. It was relatively very easy to take out. Now the next part we have to do, if you see this piece here, there's one on the opposite side exactly like it. You have to release those from their clips. There's 2. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to show you. They're kind of like down in there, which my camera can't see right now, but there's like a little clip. If you have a pick tool, you're gonna use that to kind of get them out and release them from their spot. My hand is getting so dirty, it's like insane. Let me show you. Son, for intakes, it's not even anything crazy. It's really bad. Anyway, there's a lot of gunk up there. We're gonna have to get this engine bay detailed. But okay, to show you, so on this side, if you see right there on the end, there's like 2 little like tiny pieces right at the edge. Those 2 are seated with like a rubber like bend. If you see this this waffle like looking thing, that's rubber. It's like very soft rubber, and it's sitting on the edge of those two clips. So you literally just push the rubber back with like a long screwdriver or pick tool and just pull this out. It's very, very easy. Now we're gonna start getting into behind the grill. So we have to take this little screen out on both sides. So that literally took me like 2 seconds. I didn't even see that, but if you can see, let me try to up the brightness in this thing. All right, so do you see this pull tab? I pulled this, come on, focus. I pulled back on this, just like this, and then with my other hand kind of just move the screen out of this little ridge. So now I think we actually have to remove this little rubber piece. It makes like a bend inside the engine bay, but it shouldn't be too difficult. It's literally just like this really soft rubber, so you're not going to mess anything up. So you can literally probably pull it through either side, but I'm pretty sure I got to pull it through the other side. Okay, so again, very simple. What is going on? All right, so you see this little piece here? This little piece is like hung on like this metal like piece. If you can see right there, all you have to do is push this back off of that, and then this will literally just pull right out on both sides. So we're gonna do the other side now, and then we get to the best part. Now we have to get to start cutting the plastic, which I'm definitely afraid of, because on any car that I've ever owned, I've never cut anything. No matter how big or small, I've never cut anything. And honestly, it scares me a little bit. I mean, it's nothing big, nothing major. It's like a little plastic piece behind, you know, your bumper that really nobody will ever see. But we're gonna have to cut this because the intake will not fit through this hole. And then I'm going to trace an outline using a tire pen. And then we're gonna use a really sharp box cutter knife to cut some slits and start breaking the pieces apart, because this is a little bit harder plastic. I just want to take the time actually to shout out Horizon Motorsport for sending us VRSF intakes, front mount intakes. And honestly, I didn't think VRSF was going to be as good as it is. Look at the quality of like just this piping in general and the wrinkle black. I like it a lot, honestly. I think that maybe they're considered cheap and that's why they're not good, but I'm loving the way that these pipes are looking right now, and I've gone ahead and wrapped them gold as I showed you already, and I just think that it looks like very superior quality. The welds and everything look great. I have zero complaints about these. So thank you again, Horizon Motorsport, the sponsor, the A1 sponsor. Check them out in the description below and get 5% off your order with them with code NOLIFT. All right, so I don't know if you can see it, but I've traced a white line. I actually messed up the first time. I didn't have it centered, but now it's centered. So this center line is where we're gonna be cutting. I'm gonna grab the box cutter and hopefully it's gonna be strong enough to cut through this plastic. We'll see right now.
One eternity later.
So I'm having a really hard time. So I just found these in a tool chest, and these kind of have like a nice gripping power / cutting ability. So we're gonna try and use these to cut that little piece out, because it would take way too long to use a knife. I don't know how Keys Motorsports used something like this to cut slits in it. It probably took them a really long time, but we're gonna try with this. So I'm definitely getting a lot more progress with this, and it's a little bit easier to fit in like a tight space. Plus I have huge hands. So I'm just gonna come back to you when I've gotten both sides cut out, because this is a little difficult and it's time consuming. Okay, so if you can see now, I've used those snips that I just showed you to kind of like pretty much like cut the lines and then break them by twisting. I would not use a knife like Keys says. Definitely use like a pair of snips, or if you have like a pair of like angled snips, even better, or I don't know, just something better than a knife, because a knife will take very long to cut. So I'm just gonna do the other side and we'll be ready to go. All right, as you can see, it fits through very nicely. So well, not very nicely, but nice enough. Okay, so now we're gonna start transferring over the mass airflow sensors. They use Torx bits, you use 2 on each side. And then you're going to use the supplied hardware from VRSF here to put them in here. And they only go one way. The bolts will not line up if you have it in the wrong direction. So I'm just going to transfer them over from that one to that one, and from this one to this one. So I'm at the point realistically where I'm just trying to install everything and get it squared away. I'm noticing that they gave us 2 straight couplers, but This has a very aggressive bend. I would recommend maybe trying to buy your own angled coupler and using that with that end instead of a straight one. I'm gonna make it work because that's what I have supplied right now and I can't go get another one. But just a heads up, maybe not an exact 90 degree, but maybe a 45 degree bend coupler. If you can find one, that would be the better option. Okay, so we've gotten the first side in. It's looking really good. This kind of sketched me out because it was very wide. You have to tighten this very tight for it to be tight around this pipe, but it doesn't look bad. And I would get this situated before you actually mount it because this was a little bit difficult. I had to loosen up everything and reattach this. So the actual vacuum line that I'm pointing at right now is way too close to your coolant line, and I found this out after going to a shop afterwards. What we ended up doing was bending this, as you can see on the screen, this metal piece that mounts to the chassis, and as well as adding spacers so it brings it away from your coolant pipe. But it's in now, it has an O-ring, it's seated properly, so that's good. Again, I told you about that hose coupler. That's how it looks down there, but it is tight, so I'm not complaining. And then we obviously got the intake installed. Honestly, I would say for this process, this whole process, make sure you're cutting a little bit more than you're measuring, because it was a tight fit and I know I would like it to be a little bit easier to like situate, so I would cut a little bit more than what you measure with the actual diameter of the pipe. So I would probably go maybe a centimeter more, and this would be like 10 times easier with like mounting everything up. But yeah, let's go ahead and trim it and I'll show you the last side put in. All right, we're back. I'm on my lunch break right now, so I'm just gonna try to finish this up real quick. It just stopped raining, so hopefully we got just enough window. Okay, so the last part we need to do is connect this to this, which is actually proving to be quite difficult, and then we can connect it to the bottom piece, which needs to be fed through there. Once that's done, we can pretty much button everything back up, which won't take me too long at all. But first things first, let's try to get back reconnected. Okay, so what I want to point out is the shape of this pipe. So please memorize this if you're getting VRSF. So it looks kind of like this. So it's going to go down and curve hard like that. This is the one that'll sit in the front of the engine bay at the front end of the intake. And honestly, it was really hard to figure it out because I was like going back and forth, like, is it this way? Because this looks a little bit like, it looks like it would mate to that piece a little bit better, but unfortunately this slips in this way very easily. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. It's kind of hard to explain, but this is the way that it's going to mount in the car. And the way I suggest doing it, this left side intake is very hard to get into the J pipe that leads to your turbo inlet. So put that in first and have the MAF sensor facing towards the engine. And then you're going to kind of like move it to the side a little bit. And this one will go in with the next hose clamp on top of it, like this. So that when it's on, all you have to do is slip the mass airflow sensor pipe into here and then tighten it. So you don't have to fiddle with putting the coupler on after this is already in the car. It's gonna make it a lot easier for you to actually get it on. Okay, this is what it's looking like at the moment. However, I do want to point out one thing. This is not looking very straight, and I'm not sure how the filter is gonna sit once I put it on. But I'm gonna put it on and see. I might have to loosen some things up, kind of twist a little bit, and then tighten everything back up for everything to fit how it should. Because this one's pretty straight. This one, I don't know. It's looking like it's angled up. Let's see right now. Alright, so I'm all done now. Again, I just really have, like, I don't know what is up with this side. Like, it's just not fitting how I expected it to fit. Like, as you can see, like, that one's like very straight and this one's angled up. Now I want them to be even because, you know, you want it to have a nice uniform look in the front. They are visible behind the grill, so I do care. This is how it's sitting right now, which looks by other by other standards, so I've watched other videos of people do similar installs of this. That side fits fine, right? I'm totally fine with that side. I'm happy with that side. This side I have an issue with, and I think I have a suspicion that this is the culprit. This looks to be the culprit, because if this sits further back, this has more angle, more opportunity to tilt downwards and straight. So I'm gonna look into changing that J-pipe, because it's been giving me trouble ever since I had the stock airbox. But as of right now, the car will start, run, and operate perfectly fine the way this is sitting. It just doesn't look as great as it could be. So this is track prep part 2, getting nice cold air intakes, true cold air intakes into the BMW. The gold on it looks phenomenal. Hopefully it will actually do something in terms of keeping the car cool while I'm driving. But other than that, if it doesn't do anything, at least it looks badass. So that is the only upside if it's not doing its job realistically. Keep motivated. Just stay motivated. I can't even express to you guys how important it is to just keep your motivations going. Stay driven. Stay hungry for that next thing, or for that next mod, or whatever it is in your life that you're trying to accomplish. Make sure that you actually bring it to fruition. And I was just watching a couple videos on YouTube, and it really inspired me to like stay motivated to my goals, not just, you know, with cars, but in life. And it starts with things as easy as waking up when your alarm goes off, because it's just a reward system in your head. And when you see yourself accomplishing things, it just gives you that extra motivation to want to do the next thing. And I cannot resonate with that enough. So make sure that you're doing everything you can to stay motivated. Okay, so this is the finished product right now. Easiest part of the whole thing, you hope, until something goes wrong, right? Just push it back into place. So it is the next day now. I am here with this kid, obnoxious. I'm here with this kid. It's the next day now. Honestly, we probably should have got the sounds for the car last night, because it was perfect boost weather and you can really hear everything really well. But it is what it is. We're gonna go check that out right now and get some feedback on how those intakes sound on this mother right here. So be right back, 2 seconds. And we're back.
And there's 2 of us.
So we're just gonna drive down to this road. It's a pretty long road, not too much traffic going by. And he's gonna stand out in the middle, and I'm just gonna make a few passes, and we're gonna listen for the sounds that this car is now making. All right, so I'm in Sport Plus. I'm gonna drop him down right around here. Yeah, this is good.
So this way you can make a U-turn up there.
Yeah. All right, so he's gonna take
All right,
you
peeps,
guys.
you're coming with me. Good stuff. Yeah, the intakes definitely make a huge difference. Makes a huge difference in the exhaust sound, and you can hear the turbos really. Nice. Yeah, give him a few reps.
So it even looks really good too. By the way, I just also want to mention, hopefully you can hear me over the engine. The gold wrap is doing its job. Like, I can touch this and not burn myself right now.
Mind you, we just did like a couple pulls on it.
I'm holding my hand on it and it's not burning me. That's a good sign, realistically.
100%.
So I'm more than happy with the way it looks. I'm more than happy with the way it performs. And as you can hear, hopefully, it sounds badass. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this install video and the sounds of the turbo. I'm absolutely happy with it. The fitment was about an 8.5. It's a little difficult to install the left side, I would say, personally. It might be different for you, but all in all, definitely worth it. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm Gartrell. That's Chris. Make sure you follow him on his social platforms. And peace out. We will see you in the next one.